Hector Vergara played soccer competitively for 10 years and recreationally for 30 years before turning his focus on the game to officiating. Vergara began as an official in 1983 and was rewarded for his efforts by being an assistant referee at the 2002 FIFA World Cup in Korea, Japan, the 2006 FIFA World Cup in Germany, and the 2010 FIFA World Cup in South Africa. In addition, he was an assistant referee at the 2004 Olympic Games in Athens, Greece. He claimed the record for the most World Cup games as a assistant referee with 14 when he took the field on July 10, 2010. In total, Vergara officiated nearly 150 international matches involving clubs and national teams playing at the highest competitions in the world. Vergara is currently the executive director of the Manitoba Soccer Association. 2014 Builder inductee, Hector Vergara.
Ladies and gentlemen, we cheer the referee. Please welcome inductee in the Builder category, Hector Vergara.
Wow, what a night. Good night, everybody. Good evening to all. I wanted to, first of all, congratulate all the inductees into this year's Hall of Fame and the nominating committee for nominating me, and obviously the selection committee for having chosen me to this to receive this award. I'm feeling very honored, very humbled to have been considered for it. It's something that when you grow up, you never really think about awards. At least not. My case has been that I never perform on the field of play so that you could get recognized at one point in your career. I did it because I love the game, because I had a passion for it, and strive to be the very best that I could be, similar to the players and the coaches on the field of play. You never imagined that you could ever be standing in front of your peers, and the greatest recognition is the recognition that comes from your peers, whether that is administrators, players, coaches. It is very motivational for, I think and I believe, for young people to see individuals like myself and others who are being inducted tonight to receive this type of recognition. They can use it to inspire themselves like we were inspired by others. And I think that our country, even though people say is a hockey country, it is very much a soccer country. And all of us in this room play up our important role in continuing to develop that image of the sport. And I look forward to continuing to do the work that I do. And I'm hoping that all of you in here will do the same, because there's a lot to be accomplished yet in Canada. With respect to thanking some people, it's very hard to stand up here and pick names because I've been involved in this game as an official over 26 years. And obviously I'm in the game for more than 30. There's many people that inspired me, starting with my parents. If it wasn't because my dad driving me to the games at the age of 14 or 15 or 16, I wouldn't be here standing today. One of the things my dad always told me is that no matter who you referee, including your own brother, and I did send my brother off 3 times. And it wasn't fun when he got home before I did. You know, he always told me to be impartial and be fair, and be the very best that you can be. In my community, I come from a Latin background. I became the black sheep of that community because I refused to be biased against that, in favor of that community. I always wanted to be fair. Believe me, players and coaches and administrators, a referee never wants to go on a field and make a mistake. We are human beings and we do make them, but we try our very best every time. I want to thank also my family for their unconditional support. Without the support of the parents, the immediate family, the extended family, this is impossible. I travel the world. I'm very fortunate to have traveled the world because at times I spend 150 days out of the year out of the country. because of the competitions, now because of the role that I play with FIFA and CONCACAF in regards to assistant referee assessing or instructing and attending the competitions that I've attended. I have a lot to thank the community in Manitoba, the Referees Association of that community, the fellow referees in the community, even the coaches and players, because you know, when we make mistakes and you yell and scream at us, we learn. At times you learn more from your mistakes than you learn from the things you do right in life. And that is something that is very true in refereeing. I have a great employer in the Manitoba Soccer Association, and I'd like to thank Larry Eloy, who's here as a board member of that organization, supporting me and providing the support. They are wonderful. Like I said, I continue to be involved in the game at a high level, and because of that involvement, I'm out of the country a fair amount of time. And although this day and age you can work from abroad, it's always important to have the support at home, whether it's the other staff members of the association or the board itself. There's been many instructors and assessors in my career that have played a major role in my development, and I'm hoping to continue to thank them by giving back to the game, whether it's the administrative role of the executive director of the Manitoba Soccer Association, or whether it's training young referees and assistant referees to become the best they can be in the future, and inspiring them to be a great role model for others as the game continues to develop. We have a wonderful game in Canada. I think it's only good things coming forward in the future with all the competitions that we're hosting, and I think referees, as players and coaches, we all want to play a part in that. Like I said, soccer has been a part of my life. It always will be part of my life, and I will strive to continue. I think I'm fairly young still, and I strive to continue to provide as much guidance, support, and hopefully continue to allow the game to grow and help the game grow in Canada, in my province, in my city. My wife's a little concerned because when I retired from officiating 3 years ago because of age, I said to her, and we were actually on vacation in Chile for 3 months, and I said to her, okay, well, this is the end of the rope. She had seen the end of the light. It was at the end of the tunnel, the light was there. She was happy that I was now going to be home, be able to raise the 3 children, and I have very young children. And then a letter came from FIFA. And the letter says, you're now been appointed to the FIFA Referees Committee. So I turned around and said, yeah, another 20 years. She wasn't so excited about another 20 years, but we'll see. Anyway, one step at a time. Congratulations once again to everybody. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Right now, former referee, and what a day it must be for Hector Vergara. Hector, what a day it is for you and your family. What are the emotions going through your mind today?
Well, it's wonderful, you know, to be honored by your peers. Something you never really look forward to. At the end of the day, nobody goes into this sport of soccer or any hobby for that matter with the intent that you're going to one day be in the Hall of Fame of your sport. But at the end of the day, all the sacrifices that you make, all the sacrifices the family makes, everything you work for, it's nice to see that it gets recognized in one way or another. But to ultimately to be recognized in a Hall of Fame of your sport is something out of this world and fantastic.
Hector, when did it come to you that it was a desire for you to become a referee, to go on to success like you did and really enjoy and have a passion for it?
I started at a very young age. I actually played the game alongside a refereeing for many, many years, but I took it very seriously at a very young age. I was almost 16 years old when I started, but by the time I was 19, I was already serious about it and dedicated a lot of time and effort into perfecting the craft of refereeing and assistant refereeing, and I worked through many competitions to get to the next level. And you know, the fact that you get some success at the beginning was very important for me. The support that I had from my father and my parents, also my brothers, everything like that is very, very helpful. And colleagues, you know, because at the end of the day, it's not an easy task to officiate matches. And as such, when you officiate and things don't go that well, you need the support of the people around you. So that my support system was very good, and therefore I continue upon the career, and it obviously led to more successes, and success upon success, it motivates you to continue to get better.
Hector, give us a match that you'll never forget still to this day that you really enjoyed, or maybe a match that was really a bit spicy out there.
Well, you know what? There's many of those, and I don't mean spicy. I mean that there's many that I can't forget because I had a very long career and a very lucky to be to have had that career, and therefore there's many games. But obviously being involved at the Men's World Cup, doing 14 matches, and therefore doing two third place finals. Those type of games are very important. And you're doing world powers when you're refereeing Uruguay, Germany, for example, Italy, Germany, teams like that, Brazil, England. Those are the games that you don't really forget about at all. And there's other competitions like the FIFA Club World Championship 2005, where it was a very controversial match, and at the end of the day I was proven correct. But there's too many to pick one. I enjoy them all. I was very fortunate, and I hope that many more young referees in Canada have the same opportunities in the future.
Well, you read my mind. The last point is this, and then we'll let you go, Hector. Today, there's not enough young referees that are getting involved. A lot of parents are steering them away from the industry, the passion that you had to ref games. How today do we get more and more young people involved? Because you and I both know parents, coaches yell, scream, swear at these young referees. They get turned off after a couple games. How do we get them motivated and involved in the game? Because without refs, there's no games.
Yeah, you're right. Without the referees, there is no game. And it's a very difficult question to answer because we all have that problem. And it's not only a problem in each province here in Canada, it's a problem around the world. We face this everywhere. So I think part of it is having a very strong support system. I think you need to be able to be there for the young referees, be able to educate them, teach them the ropes, and support them all along the way. Because without the support, if they feel alone out there, then they're not going to continue. They're likely going to quit. So having a strong support system and continue to work hard at the provincial level and at the CSL level to support the young referees is going to be critical for their success. And obviously, to me, we also need the education of the parents and the coaches, that they have to understand that referees are going to make mistakes, especially young referees when they're starting out at the craft. It's not easy to be a perfect referee. There is no perfect referee. So at the end of the day, they have to be lenient, they have to be understanding, and be educated that they are part of the solution as well.
So as we let you go very quickly, is it time for video replay in the world of football as we know it? Is it time to help out the refs?
I think in some elements, yes, but there's other elements that can be difficult to do. I think part of the passion of this sport is the fact that there's a human element. Not only do players make mistakes, coaches make tactical mistakes, referees also make mistakes in the game, and that is what's really a real passion to it. And we have a real flow to our game that is the envy of many other sports. And if you bring video replay into this game, then all of that flow, that passion may disappear, and we may have a totally different game than we have today, or that we have in the past. So I think you have to be very careful as to when you're going to consider video replay and for what circumstances you're going to consider it. It's also very expensive. You want the same game at the youth level to be the same game at the World Cup level, and to keep it consistent, you cannot have video replay at under 9 competition.
Well said, well spoken. Congratulations. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and God bless you for giving back so much to the community.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. It's an honor.